these small little competitions, and every weekend my parents were taking me to compete,
Right.
with my dance partner. So that was like Saturday and Sunday for, several years. And by the age of 10 or 11, I started enjoying it very, very much. And then when I was 14, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to be, that's going to be my career. And I just want to be a ballroom dancer.
Really, a ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there were beautiful competitions. I mean, I watch them when they're televised here, with the regular, not Dancing with, I mean, I watch Dancing with the Stars every week, but the dance competitions are so incredibly interesting to
It
watch.
is, yeah.
Because as it's such a difference from Dancing with the Stars, even though we've got the best dancers in the world competing with these, the celebrities. But
And some are not the best dancers in the
You know,
world when it comes
about
to
the
the celebrities.
competitions, when I start dancing and you start sort of getting a taste of it, like going and competing, it becomes like a drug, You
It
just get
does.
addicted to it so
Yeah.
much, and then it becomes your lifestyle and everything. You just live every
everything
day.
is around that.
Exactly.
I was a skater, competitive skater.
It's probably the same thing,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You don't know, but when you get good at it, then they want you to do this, and you go to this, and the meets, and the things, and the competitions, and it's really an adrenaline rush. Just like, but then I became an actress, so it's the same kind of drug
Yeah.
because you really keep going, and it's exciting every
Well,
time.
it's I think because I was an All-American and athlete in college, and I know the feeling because it's a sport, and because you're competing not only against other people, but you're competing against yourself, and that was the biggest thing for me. It wasn't always competing against somebody else. It was how could I take myself to the next level? How can I make myself better? And I think as a dancer, I'm sure an actress, same thing. It's people
Yeah.
always trying to better themselves.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who are like, I'm okay. I'll just go work in an
So
office
did you
job.
win a lot of competitions at the dance competitions growing up?
Well, to improve and to be good at it, you have to go and practice, and not just practice, but you have to go and perform, and you have to go and compete. And I don't know, I've been dancing more than 20 years. I don't know how many competitions I've done, but me and my partner, I had several dance partners throughout my career, but we've traveled everywhere, you name it, all around Asia, Europe, everywhere, America. We won a lot of competitions. We've been 10th in the world in the World Dance Council ranking in 2010 and 2011. So I actually just when I started doing a show on Dance with the Stars, I came here last year in February, and in January I was competing in London at the UK Championship. Yeah,
Wow.
and we were in the final. So there was it's such a huge change because you go there at least a month before, you have all the lessons with your teachers, and you spend so much time in London, and then you compete, and then you go back, and then suddenly I got a call from Dance with the Stars, and there's we want you to come and.
Did you know somebody on the show, or some of the producers, or anybody know who you were? And then
I
they
didn't
must
know
have.
any of the producers. I think they found out about me because a year before I was doing Dance with the Stars in Australia. That was my first experience on Dance with the Stars ever. But then I sort of went back to my competitive career. But I knew I have a lot of friends on the show, like Max and Val and Karina and Cheryl. And I used to live in New York in 2004 for 2.5 years until 2006. I used to work in a dance studio, was teaching. And I remember Cheryl. She was practicing there with her partner. She wasn't even on the show. There wasn't even a show yet.
Yeah, right.
So, and Karina I know like for ages, and her dance partner at that time, and Max and Val, we especially with Val, we had the same teachers. We used to go like to Japan, and we were doing a competition, and after a competition we go like, so where are you going? He was like, I'm going to Bali to have lessons with his teacher at the time. I was like, okay, so I'll see you in Assen in Austria a week later. He goes, yeah, we're coming to compete there. And then from Assen we would go to Paris and do like a competition in Paris, and then from there we would go
Wow.
fly to Hong Kong for a training camp. Just so it's such a small world, and
It
you
is.
just travel everywhere
Yeah.
to improve. And
Wow, that's
Yeah.
I know the dance community is very tight knit because I've
Yeah.
dated a couple dancers and they are like this. I mean, they're
Everybody
very
knows
tight-knit.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but
were they
You're
doing
blushing.
it Latino ballroom?
well, he
Or
actually
like-
danced for Celine Dion and did the world tour.
Oh, nice.
So he did everything too. I mean,
Cool.
he really did everything. So yeah, but it's exciting because I always find a man or woman that's very sexy because
Oh, my
if you're
God.
so in touch with your body to know how to actually move, not just do the
Yeah.
white man dance swaying back and forth. You know, that's my dance. But I think it's very sexy, even if the guy or girl are just an average, quote quote, average looking person, because it's
if you
so
know the moves,
sexy.
you know, and Dancing with the Stars. I mean, even that new girl that's on there, Candace Cameron. What's her name? Isn't it Candace Cameron?
I think Candace Cameron, Kirk Cameron's sister.
Is it?
Yeah.
Brunette,
Yeah. Well, blondish brunette.
blondish brunette. Okay.
I can't think of her last name is Cameron though. Anyway, I think my children went to high school with her, but my point is she's very, very religious. And when she first started on the show this year, she wouldn't wear anything low cut.
By the end of it, she was
now
like tassels.
it's Katie Bar the door. The girl is just out there, and because she wants to win, and that competitive spirit just grabs onto you. But you had Lisa Vanderpump last year.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
Oh,
how
yeah.
Was that?
Spill your guts.
Yeah.
Spill
We
your
won't tell anybody.
guts.
Go ahead and just.
I watched.
It was a lot of fun, and I didn't know. Like, we don't know who we're gonna.
Oh, so you
dance
don't
with.
know until they announce it to everybody else.
No, you don't know. You don't even know until you walk in that door,
Really?
and that person is in front of you. So there are a lot of awkward moments when you're like, "So yeah, there was
Who
a
are
funny,
you? It's like
What
something
do you
like
do?
Did you
that.
know?
Like-
I was gonna say, did you know who she was at all?
No. It's funny because
love that.
I was like a housewife. So, okay, a person who sits at home and looks after the,
Right.
Yeah.
And there was a TV show, Beverly Hills Housewife. I was like, oh, okay, now I got it. So, and then we would start talking, and I watched the show after I've met her already. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. She's the most funniest woman I've ever met. Like, she's got such a great sense of humor, and we had so much fun, and we laughed all the time. And I think we laughed more than we've practiced.
Oh no.
And that's why we didn't stay at the competition for too long.
Yeah.
We should have practiced. A
But
little bit more.
she's a very busy woman. I mean, she has 2 restaurants that she runs.
And I think the
and-
third one is coming up.
Yeah.
And 2 shows
Yeah.
at that time, and
Yeah.
that was a lot of challenge for us too, because she was so busy that
the schedule
just-
and everything.
compared to everybody else, we just could practice several hours a day, and the rest of the people, they were like 10 hours a day in the studio, and
Yeah.
and I think there was a lot of pressure on her too, and mentally and physically,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very, very difficult. Stars, when they sign up for a show, they don't know what they're gonna get, because they think, okay, we're gonna have some fun with a pretty boy, and it's that pretty boy is gonna tell you straighten those
Yeah.
legs, and
Right.
it's a lot of pressure.
It is. I see that.
Yeah.
Because how they start out, and then if they last, then it becomes a real struggle to move, especially when they start the 2 dances a week. And then you see, but like the people who are staying, Nene Leakes, she just got off this week.
Did she?
Yeah, they let her go this week. But I don't know. Now, are you in the company now, or do you dance?
Well, I'm not this season, but you never know. I'm still under the contract, so
Because
They could call you back.
Yeah.
Whenever they.
because they
next
have a
season.
company of people who dance in the intermissions,
right.
Or the
troop dancers.
troupe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it last season, and for this season I decided to take the season off. Yeah.
So-
and wait until I'm going to become a pro again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get to work with somebody like anybody from Dance with the Stars, you don't really know, like you say, you don't know who they are, but you don't know their dancing skills either. How do you go through that process when you were like, okay, let's see where you're actually at and what I'm working with here? How was it with Lisa?
Well,
And just anybody, I guess, that you could watch.
and with any, everyone is very, very different. Someone might get a young girl, like for example Zendaya.
Yeah.
Right.
She's got already an experience in dancing. It can be anything, hip hop or whatever, but it's dance experience. So, and with someone like Lisa, she danced before when she was young, but she hasn't been practicing or anything. So it's
Right.
really hard in her body. So you have to really work with that and think about what would be the best for her. It's
Right.
not that I want to do that and you have to repeat that, but you have to think, okay, what are the pluses and minuses, how she looks great in that and how she doesn't look very good in that. So you have to cover it up and then bring the best out of her. And, the most important in that process, it's not to really teach the person how to dance, but to create the routine which is going to stand out and to make a
Okay.
really good choreography which is going to make a great effect on TV, in the audience, on the floor, on the dance floor. That's why nowadays I feel it's not about the technique, it's not about the steps, it's about the show. It's like
Entertainment.
it's an entertainment
Yeah,
more.
right.
Yeah. So you have to create that, a storyline and the beginning and the end and something. So it's really fun. But it's hard at the same time,
I'm sure
because
it is.
you never know who you're gonna get.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm just gonna use football as an example. So when a football team does well, the quarterback usually always, or running back always, gets the glory. When it goes bad, it's usually the lineman or whatever. So when you're on Dance with the Stars and you get eliminated, fairly soon.
How long was she there?
Was she the
How many
first one?
weeks?
No, we had 5 weeks.
Oh, 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. But when you do get eliminated, say the first person, does it ever fall back on the dancer going, well, you weren't that good a teacher? I mean,
Well, I think it's sort of 50-50 because, again, people can see if the person can dance or not. And
you're like,
again,
oh, Lord, here we go.
yeah, and then you have to think of something. You remember, like last season, Bill and Emma, they
Yeah.
were in the show. He couldn't really dance, but it's a popularity vote as well.
Right.
He was people vote for him, and they wanted him to stay on the show.
Bill Engvall, the comic stand-up
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
your sign.
I don't really know. It depends.
Do you
And
take it
then
personal,
when-
though?
Oh yeah.
No,
Sorry.
do you take it personal when you get eliminated? Do you really?
No, of course,
honestly
it's
get
a
upset, or-
competition. It's
Right.
a competition. You want to win. You're there because you're going.
Are you
for
ready to
the-
cut somebody
after
when-
that? Yeah.
You're like,
And you go like, oh my god, and that's okay.
And plus the fact that Gleb has been in
Competition,
competition
right.
since he's 7.
right.
And when you are in competition, just like being an actor or anything, you can't take it personally. I mean, there may be other people that they may see something that you don't see or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it fascinating. I wish I could dance like you.
I do too.
Guys,
We
I'll
could
teach
dance
you.
here if we
Yeah.
could have it.
Wait, I
could
would
learn.
Let's do that.
Don't do that. People in chat room, they're already like, they're like, oh my god, One, they saw your video and they said, we'll take one in every color.
Perfect.
So when you were growing up in Moscow, and then now you get to travel the world, did you ever think that you would be doing the thing that you love? Because there's so many people that want to be a dancer or want to be an actor or want to be this, and they never get out of that rut or get out of that situation where they can live that dream.
Well, you just have to try. Like, my story is that when I was competing, I'm just from, my parents are just an average family, so I didn't have, I wasn't like swimming in gold and having everything
Right.
when I
Yeah.
was a child. So to get to a certain level, even in dancing, you have to go and travel and train and have a good costumes, good
Right.
shoes, everything. So I didn't have that, and I was trying to. I remember that time I was trying to get into the final at the Russian Championship. We could never make it because they were so political.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
and I wanted to go to the World Championship, and only 2 first couples in the country, from the country, can represent that country on the
Really?
world championship, and I couldn't for like 2 years. I couldn't, so I've decided I have to change the country of the representation, and go somewhere, win, and go to the world championship because
Look
I
at you,
knew
look
I
at
was
you, yeah.
Where'd you go?
much better.
Where'd you
I
go?
went to Latvia.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I went to Latvia and I danced with a girl. We became Latvian champions. We went to the world championship. That was 2 years after that when I was like, I had that thought. And we were third at the world championship in the
you.
youth
Great.
category. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, so that's how it's all started. And I still live with that kind of thought. You just have to go out there and make the first step.
Mm-hmm.
You make the first step and, something's going to happen,
Wow, that's
and
great.
just try. It's like that's what I'm doing with my acting now. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Are you?
I'm having acting classes at Ivana's Chabuk school. Ivana Chabuk.
I don't know them.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
so,
though. Doesn't
well,
mean anything.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that here in LA?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, and yeah, trying going for auditions, and
How's that feeling for you as an actor?
I love it.
It's
Oh, you do?
probably not
Good.
too far away because it is performing.
Well, it is performing, but
But
I
it's
find it's
using-
very
Yeah,
Yes,
it's using different muscles and
exactly.
different. Well, it is.
And you have to speak as well. Like
Yeah.
as a dancer, we use the body language
Mhm.
to tell the story.
Right.
And as an actor, you have to really speak and put your emotions
And the
connection
eyes
and
and
the
the
eyes.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
So when people ask you, because you dance so much and it's like your life, when people ask you, what are your hobbies? What do you say?
What are my hobbies? I just started to do a gymnastic class.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I want to learn all these flips and tricks and all that stuff. It's
That's
really
awesome.
hard.
Mm.
I
Even
bet.
being a dancer, it's really, really hard. It's totally
Yeah.
different. That's why, a lot of people think, oh, Meryl is a great ice, like she's an Olympic champion, she's going to do great. But it's still a challenge because it's
Yeah.
totally different genre. And, you
Well,
have
she
to.
and Max, I'm telling you, something's going on there.
Are you sure?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm reading into it.
No,
No.
I assure you, no.
Oh, wow.
You ruined it. You ruined it for her.
Okay, fine.
Good job. Well,
I was joking.
You know,
You
Tease.
would like to think that Max, being Max, he's such a, I don't know, he's been such a taskmaster, and to every, person, every celebrity that he's had, and some come out okay, others don't, and she just seems like to be, because she does have some capabilities that not a lot of other people have because of her ice skating, it just seems like he's a little more like pushing out there and being open, and not being so closed off.
Look, I tell you, I know Max for a very long time, and he's such a sweet, the nicest guy ever.
I'm so
It-
glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And Val, he seems very, very
And Val,
nice.
like, they're friends of mine. And, when I watched it, like, a few years ago, and I was like, Max, is it, like, why? And again, there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of things,
Yeah.
like because you're trying your best, and then someone who's,
Some of
like,
those-
trying to act like a diva.
Yeah.
That's, you're just trying to cope with that and go, like, come on, just do it. And then the people get upset.
Yeah.
But I think Errol, she brings out of him that what it's really inside. I think they have such a great chemistry,
Yeah.
and they have such a great partnership, and they, I'm rooting for everyone because all of them are my friends, and I think they're all very, very talented and dancers and celebrities, but I think Max has a good chance.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
he hasn't won, has he?
No,
Has he ever had a mirror ball?
no,
I
didn't
didn't think so.
Yeah.
And he so deserves it. He's so thorough with these people, and he tries so hard. And this is the first time that I've seen him and see the sweetness coming out of him, more than the frustration, I
Yeah.
think.
So when you look at somebody and say, "Damn, they're a good dancer," who is it? Man, woman, and why what do you look for when you look for somebody that's just an amazing dancer?
There are a lot of amazing dancers, and what I look is I don't look particular for a technique or a concept or a style or anything.
Right.
I just look and I feel. if
You
it
feel it.
touches me, then I was like, I will remember that dance for, some time, and I will just go back in my head to my thoughts. And I was like, remember that dance or remember that performance. That when it touches you, when it's not about a movement. It's more about the connection and the feel, what you're really living at the moment and what are you feeling at the moment.
Right.
That's what really fascinating. And
It's kind of like a
Yeah.
singer, like you have like people like Christina Aguilera who can just blow the roof off, but sometimes she just sings. I mean, she's just
Yeah.
a singer. But then you have like Adele or somebody that really tells the story
yeah,
as a dancer does, and then you just like tears or happy or want to dance. And I think
Yeah.
that's the same way with dancing. Because when you look back on your career, because you said you remember the dances when you watch other people, but do you remember one of your dances that was just even almost brought yourself to tears from doing such a great dance of telling a story? Can you think back and think of a time?
well, I always looked and I still look at the videos of Mikhail Baryshnikov.
Oh wow!
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he's the person who is really, I always looked at him and he was like, he's my idol. And even he does ballet, but the way he moves and the
He
way
was
he
amazing.
it's just, oh my god.
But what
It's-
about you? I mean, when you actually did a dance that just you felt like you were ascending.
It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, and I don't really remember that because it's, it could be the same dance, and you can do it like 10 times,
But that
and you
one
can
time could
only
just, yeah.
feel it like twice.
Right.
And I don't really remember which moment is that, but when you feel it, you're just feeling it, and that's the beauty in art because when it happens live, it happens only once.
That's nice. That's nice, though.
And then
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, just as an actor, you also, what you do as an actor is just recreate life. You put a mirror up to people who are watching you, and it's your ability to create life as closely as possible to, make everybody understand what you're going through and your feelings and emotions. And I think that's with dancing, especially when you're in it like you have been your whole life, is that there's many ways to do a line in a play or a line in a scene. And sometimes you reach a different level in your own head, just like you reach a different level in your expertise of that move or that dance. You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
Is there some dance style that you like better than all the others?
I think I'm a very emotional person, and I like a slower dances, like a rumba or like, let's say, contemporary or jazz. Those dances where you can actually really feel. But again, you can do a chiqui cha-cha or a samba and still feel that,
Yeah.
talk dirty to me.
What about tango? We have a show on on our network called
Tango
Tango
Angeles.
Angeles.
I love it.
And,
I love it.
We looked at each other when
In
we
fact,
were first.
they're in the chat room listening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And it's and they don't use the cameras or anything, so it's really about the music and about
storytelling.
stories. And but I the Latin dances, I think I look at you and I just think Latin dancing.
Didn't you win your first major competition? Was that you won an award or something like that? You won a 2007 for International Rising Star Professional Latin Championship in London, right?
Yeah. That
Wow.
was in London in 2007. We won. It's a huge competition, and we won Rising Stars with my partner, and that's from that time like our career really took
Wow.
off. I
That's
want
cool.
to tell you there's 3 styles of tango.
Oh,
Really?
So one is
tell us.
American
Oh.
tango, is when you've just started dating and you're flirting in an atmosphere of sexual tension.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I like
Right?
that.
Argentine tango is when you've just started sleeping together and you can't keep your hands off each other. And there's an international tango, is when you've been married for 7 years and you're only staying together for the sake of the children.
That's funny.
And it's so true because, in Argentine tango is when the position of your body is really, really close. You lean toward each other and you feel that sensuality and that tension. And in international tango, you're trying to keep away from each other.
That's
that's
Wow.
that's the position. Yeah.
Well, that's no fun.
So,
You're married, aren't you?
Yes.
And you
had
have
a baby.
Yes, I have a daughter, 3.5 years old.
Oh,
She's a
cute.
cutie patootie. I saw pictures
I
of
was
her.
going to ask, because you travel so much and your career requires so much of your time and energy, how do you balance your personal life and your career life?
It's hard, but we're trying to work together, for the future. Like Elena, for example, she just signed a contract. She's going to India for Dancing with the Stars there.
Wow.
And their season is 34 episodes.
wow.
Can you imagine? I don't
No.
even
They
shoot
know
that
where
in
they're
2
going to
days.
take all the dances from.
Oh my God.
They shoot that in 2 days.
And she's going to be gone. She's leaving next week.
She's a dancer on Dancing with-
She's my professional dance partner for already like 8 years, and she was on Dancing with the Stars in Australia, and she's got third, and she was just this season she was a choreographer for So You Think You Can Dance in Australia.
Terrific.
Yes, and
That
now
is
she's
great.
doing Dance with the Stars in India, and she's
So are
gonna
you
be
going
gone
to
for
go?
5.5.
Are you going?
I will definitely go and visit her, and maybe we'll get
She'll
a
take
chance
the
to.
baby.
Well, Olivia stays with me all the time, so
Uh-huh.
she travels everywhere. She just came back from Australia after So You Think You Can Dance. Olivia's here, so I let her do whatever she wants, and I'm with my daughter.
Oh, that's
cool.
cute.
That's very
Well, before the
nice.
time gets away from us, I want to talk about now. Do you have your own line of underwear? That since we played the video,
Yeah.
So talk about it.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, you can find it on www.glebcollection.com, and
GLEB.
it's glebcollection.com, and it's something that I came up not too long ago. An underwear for dancers, and something different on the band. You have all the dances written. This is right here. I have the rumba.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here, hold on. I gotta excite the audience here. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah,
Rumba.
rumba.
Yeah.
And I have something for girls too. It's just a simple pattern bra with panties, and it's something that it's comfortable. You can wear it for anything. You can go work out in the gym, and it's just hugs your body. You don't even feel under your clothes.
Good.
Yeah.
See, after I've seen him wear it, I don't know if I could.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
You are a well-built man.
Well, no.
Stop yourself.
Well, many years ago,
Exactly.
I did natural bodybuilding.
Shirt
so
off.
yes.
Shirt off.
No,
shirt
no,
off.
no,
Shirt
no.
off.
Here's my goal, though, is starting this summer in December. I'm gonna be turning 45 years old. So, what my goal is to 6 months, because I know how to work out. I taught aerobics for 16 years.
Well, you're still training people, too.
Yeah, and so my goal is to get my six-pack back and get back in shape, and so that's my goal for my
And
my
then we'll
45th
buy you a
birthday.
whole set of Gleb
And then
collection.
I will wear them
Yeah.
on air,
Yeah.
no shirt, no pants.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Cool. Let's remember
That's going to
that.
be
That's
a
right.
real audience pleaser.
And also, you have a new website.
Yes.
It's
That's the
Just
my the
glebcollections.com.
glebcollection.com. Yes.
Now, what else besides the underwear? Do you have any other things you're going to be adding to a collection? Maybe your own cologne. Maybe
We'll see. I just want to start
You're
that.
just like, I just
how
want to get this shit going, right?
exactly.
You're right.
Exactly. I don't know. I haven't thought about it, but maybe like a T-shirt or like a tank top or something. Or there will be a new collection, coming out. I'm working on that on the different styles, and just start with an underwear first, and we'll see.
Now they're talking about me doing this thing in December now, and no chat room, so that's why I
I
giggle. I
know.
looked over.
This was a big announcement.
I know. I shouldn't have done that.
Now
Chip.
you have the pressure. Now
I
you
know.
have to.
Well, he'll come back. He'll come back and
Yeah.
go on after me. So, because I don't want to go on after you. So, all right, Gleb, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
promised-
Thank you, guys.
You promised to come back.
Thank you. Yes, I promise to come back for sure next week.
Oh, next week?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it here. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We have Charlene Montgomery going to be coming on and giving us the lowdown on the book she wrote, The Legend of George Jones. He is a legend in the country music industry.
And she says we can ask her anything.
Anything. So it's going to be
George Jones was a drunk.
He was a drunk. So don't go anywhere, Gleb. Come back,
Thank you.
please. All right.
I will.
Okay. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
His songs would change a nation, and his fists would break a heart. And everywhere he'd go, he'd leave a scar. Rhinestones and drinking, and a troubled soul combined to give us songs that struck us to the bone. The Opry's not the same since they put him in his grave. It's time you heard the legend of George Jones.